Hello everyone, my name is Raiden. Today we are talking about Black Sabbath, and I'm going to explain to you and why he is busted, and explain how I believe he might just be in the top 10 strongest stands. If not, you can definitely agree that he's top 15. This video is not scripted, but has bulletin points, and it's just more so me yapping, so I will try to say as less as possible, but it is bound to happen. And to explain furthermore about how this video works, this is, well, not how this video works, because I already have it planned out. I'm going to explain him, I'm going to explain why he's busted, put him through some scenarios, power scale a bit because of cringy chain scaling, and then just talk, really. But to explain this channel's destination, because as you see, if you are seeing this, you can check it. It is weird because I have three Minecraft videos down there, and this is because I am a gamer. Every YouTuber, every kid who wants to be a YouTuber, including me, will wake up and be like, I'm gonna play Minecraft. But me, I'm doing this, and I'm gaming, and almost all of my stuff will be about JoJo. Maybe an occasional video with a friend. I do have a friend who I will name V, because he does not want me telling the internet his name, which is fair. The occasional video with him of random Roblox game or such, but nothing more than that. But any video that is just to me will either be me playing a Minecraft mod, or a JoJo game, or any of that. But in most cases, like most JoJo tubers, I will be talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure narratively, and having opinions about it, and my interpretation of things, and being a nerd in power scaling, because I like seeing big numbers fly everywhere. I will say this, if you do not agree with anything I'm saying, I'm not big enough to say this because I would love to have people watch my videos. Don't hate watch me, because even if you don't agree that a JoJo character is faster than light, just accept another person's opinion. Which I understand is hard on the internet, especially when you think something they're saying is dumb, but I am very eyes opening when it comes to power scaling, and will do a lot of research of even characters I don't know from animes I don't like, just to power scale them so I can get a fair scaling, because I know how it feels to have a YouTuber talk about one of my favorite animes and scale them wrong because they haven't even watched it. So I don't want other people feeling that same thing. Furthermore, just please, if I irritate you, hop off. There's nothing wrong with leaving a video because they make you angry or the video's dumb. It's like, if you're not a Trump supporter, why would you go to a Trump rally? Or if you're a Trump supporter, why would you go to where Democrats are and then, I don't know, make fun of them? It's like, you gotta stay with your people, and the only times you should go to other people is when you are being civil and conversating. The second it is not civil, you need to leave. Anyways, done with that little yap slash. This is the most I've ever actually talked to you guys personally, rather than just doing whatever the heck I was doing earlier in my other videos, having no plan or no structure. But I will now get into the video of why Black Sabbath is broken. First and foremost, I will explain the stand on Black Sabbath, as I believe many people already know the stand. I will just go over it again because it is kind of forgotten, and I haven't seen it in recent media in a while. The most recent video I think I've seen of Black Sabbath was a 6-year-old video. So I will give a brief explanation and continue with the rest of the video. Black Sabbath is an automatic stand named after the English rock band Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath is only able to exist within the shadows, being able to traverse through them whenever its target touches a shadow. Once it restrains its target, it can then pull the soul from their body and pierce it with a stand arrow contained within its mouth. Even with its powerful shadow traversal, it is weak to sunlight. Although it seems to just be sunlight, similar to a vampire, but he was only ever outside, really. So to know if he is weak to all light versus sunlight is more so up to interpretation. Whether you want to agree that he's super powerful or not inside a room with no light. But it's all that weird interpreting stuff. I believe it's just sunlight, but that's also because we've only seen sunlight. So it's more so of a guilty till proven situation. But this stand is busted. It's incredibly fast and strong. Sorry. It's incredibly fast and strong. It has the ability to pull out your soul. No character is able to break out of his restraint power so far. The best we've got was somebody interacting with the stand and saving the other person, distracting it. Otherwise, if you're fighting him solo and he grabs you, it's done. And this is an effective one shot, because if you already if you don't have a stand, you're likely gonna die from getting stabbed by the arrow. 2, if you have a stand, you're gonna die because you can't have the stand again, and it's too much. It will kill you. Unless JoJo characters are tough, so I feel like some could survive if it didn't stab you in the face. So Black Sabbath has an effective one shot, and it is incredibly fast and powerful. It overpowers both Koichi's Echoes Act 3 and Giorno, and Echoes are in the Faster Than Light Plus, so small down to what Giorno could have city level AP, even though I don't believe that personally. It is still possible if you want to rank him to his highest degree of power. But even then, he should be a definitive one-shot tier, or at least just a regular tier above both Giorno and Echoes. Even when they defeated him, he that was because I'm not gonna say because of plot, because in JoJo, when you outsmart somebody, you've defeated them. And I'm a firm believer that even with outsmarting them, you can power scale somebody, and you can't just look at raw stats. You have to see how the characters react to in a fight. You can't just be like, oh, he's a speed blitz tier, so he beats him. Even if you can speed blitz somebody, they need to have at least enough physical stats to actually harm him or have a hacks that can do something. But also, if it was a 1v1 on either Koichi or Giorno, they would have been dead. There was no fighting that. The fact that either of them was able to survive is insane. That one is a little bit of plot, but they still outsmarted him in the end of the day. And so this can get him to at least Faster Than Light Plus, and at least town to large town, maybe city level AP, because I have Giorno at Faster Than Light and small town and town level AP, with some scenes of when he can burst out and get to city level AP, or some feats and chain scaling shenanigans. But being Faster Than Light to maybe Faster Than Light Plus, because the speed thing is a weird situation to be able to scale above. He's around this echelon of being that fast. Realistically, he should be unbeatable, in my personal opinion. I don't think a single person could beat him that isn't a reality manipulator, and depending on the scenario and where they are, Whether it's nighttime or not. If it's nighttime, I don't think he can lose, to be honest with you, because now he can travel everywhere. So it would be a little hard to like calc that out. But I do even think, like, even in a close range fight with Popo just kind of standing there, because I'm pretty sure automatic stands can be controlled by the users, just like how anybody can. But automatic stands also have the advantage of pretty much being their own sentient beings when the user wills them to. Similar to how Sheer Heart Attack works and how Echo's Act 3 works. Echo's is sentient, it's not automatic, but it can do its own things with its own volition. Most stands can. It's just they have the added fact of being controlled by their user. So I do think automatic stands can, like, be controlled by their user. Just automatic stands know the full extent to their abilities. At least I would hope they do, as it's themselves. Realistically, in a fight, he should not lose. Because, one, you always have your own shadow here. I'm pretty sure that unless, like, that your own shadows don't affect him. I've seen him travel through people's shadows, but it's kind of a weird thing. I guess you have to touch it with your hand, or, like, interact with it separately from just your feet on there for him to come out. Unless I'm remembering it wrong, which could be 100%. But even if, like if he fought Silver Chariot, he wins. Silver Chariot is fast and strong, faster and probably in the same power. Yeah, no, definitely in the same power. Silver Chariot is in them, or in both in the same echelon of power, with Silver Chariot being much faster, of course. But it doesn't have the hacks to do anything. Even if it can hurt it, what are you gonna do? Because Popo doesn't sustain the same damage. That's the OP thing about automatic stands. Even if you can control them, the damage doesn't transfer over. Only things that affects them do. Kind of like how Sheer Heart Attack, when it got weighed down, it weighed down his hand, Kira's hand. Popo got shot in the head. Well, he shot himself, and his head exploded, and Black Sabbath's head also exploded. So, it is a similar thing, you could say, in a close range fight, then the damage transfers over. That is more of a interpretation thing now, or we can ask Haraki whenever. But realistically, I don't think he should lose to many fights, and even, like, if he fought Jotaro, the Jotaro would be terrified of the stand. Travels through shadows and is strong and fast enough to worry him and can take his soul. And, like, once he takes his soul, it's wraps. Like, you can't do anything. You need help from an outside source. You can't just punch your way out. You're, like, paralyzed. You're immobilized. Your soul is ripped out. With time stop and such, if he could get close to Popo, he would destroy him. But also, it's more of a thing. Time stop kind of has a disadvantage against him. I do think time skip is actually a better counter to this, because with being able to skip time, shadows move, light moves. It's just not frozen like how Dio and Jotaro works. So even if Dio does it, he is punching a stand that he could probably hurt just for it to be ineffective to it, because you can hurt and destroy a stand all you want. If it doesn't transfer to the user, you are perfectly, like, the user's perfectly fine, so you are screwed. So Jotaro would have no chance if it was an automatic source going to him, unless he defeated it by letting it hit the sunlight. And I do believe he is smart enough to do that. So at a far range state, he would have a much harder time. He would just need to have some form of knowledge that he cannot get hit by the stand, or, like, the stand cannot touch him. So instead of going to punch him when he tries to restrain him, he will jump back or stop time instantly and then punch him and put some space in between them, rather than trying to throw a punch first. Close range fight, it is a much different story, because you can't just put Popo out in the sunlight. He's in prison. And if your Jordan really wants to kill him, he would break through a cell just to kill him. And whether or not you consider the light in his cell being able to affect him or not, which if it does, Popo is surrounded by light and is kind of screwed, as that man is not outmaneuvering Star Platinum. But if it can just be summoned no matter what in light, which personally, in my interpretation, I think he can. The only time we've seen it is when Popo was dying, so we can't consider if that hurt him or not. But he seemed pretty chill with the light. He was more worried about the fact that the back of his head was exploded. So I think with no sunlight being able to destroy the stand, Popo would have a much better chance at fighting him. But again, Time Stop is a ridiculously overpowered ability. He'll probably be able to one-shot Popo. Now, we can also say that, he has the same durability as his AP. Not a lot of people really look at this. I personally look at JoJo like this, and how durability works like this, and I've been tired of how a lot of people put in durability. You can be super durable. You can be in the small town to town level durability, like Popo realistically should be because of how his stand is, and still be able to be shot and killed by a bullet. The bullet does not brute force its way through. It pierces, it rips and tears, it cuts. It is not able to resist, or is not able to be resisted. The only way that bullets can stop people is if they have supernatural skin. But that is my personal interpretation and scaling of Black Sabbath. This is a really cool and powerful stand that I wish we could have seen more of, or at least get more of. Because Popo and Diavolo know each other. I feel like Popo and Diavolo, Popo was kind of like the Bucciarati to Diavolo that Giorno had with Bruno. I do think that Popo is way out of his prime. He got incredibly fat. He doesn't move, and he is literally his bed. He turns into a bed. He got out of shape, dude. I don't know what happened to him. So I do believe, back in the day with him and Diavolo, if we could see, at least a little one-shot manga of him with, him and Diavolo and other members of the gang, whether you, wouldn't be the Hitmen with, Risotto and stuff. It would be the La Squadra. It wouldn't be them. I just remembered the name there for a second. I had a little bit of a brain fart. It would just be a bunch of other people, or it would just be the both of them. And I think both of them as a team is incredibly dangerous. Because Diavolo, for example, Diavolo could take out the whole main character's squad if he wanted to, if it wasn't for Polnareff being a pain in the ass to him. And also him being afraid of revealing his identity. Because even if you can defeat everybody, there is a chance that while you're distracted fighting somebody crawls away or runs away, and then he looks away and he's like, God damn it, I'm screwed. Because he couldn't hide in the shadows, to say. But I would love to see a little back in time thing, as much as it wouldn't happen. Because he is now focused on, part 7, 8, and 9. Well, not part... You know what I mean. He's more focused on the new universe with part 9 and such. I still think if he did a little back in time flash to part 5 to show, like, just a little bit, or at least had just non-canon stuff to, like, just to see more about what he can do, I think Black Sabbath would be so much stronger than what people think, because he kind of just, he lost the plot. Like, I don't believe in losing a plot in JoJo, in rare cases, but, like, if Popo wants you dead, he wants you dead. The reason Giorgio didn't die is because Popo genuinely wants people to join it, and he's testing them. It's like, if you testing somebody, you don't pull out a gun and shoot them. That's you wanting to kill them. But if you're testing somebody, you pull out a gun, and, you know, you give them a bit of a heads up. Or something. It's a bad analogy because a regular person can't dodge gunfire, but let's say you could. You're not gonna do it and go all out and attack them when they can't react. This is why Black Sabbath is a busted stand and really is underrated, and I want to see him more in power scaling. But this is Raiden, and I will be signing off. Go watch another video. Have a good day.